It's the first episode of 2024 for us here at PHLY Phillies podcast. It's been a long time since we've seen you, friends. It's been a whole year, guys. Welcome into 2024 and another edition as we kick off the year of PHLY Phillies podcast. Jamie Lynch, Renee Washington, Tyler Zulli. Happy to see so many people already in the chat. What's up, Chris, Jim, John, Santiago, Matt? Happy New Year, everybody. Still happy holidays. And happy to see all of you guys still here.
We're putting a cap on your New Year stuff.
No. There's so many things,
You
though.
have
Today
to stop
is the
saying
first...
Happy New Year after today.
No,
so it's over.
That's
it's
not
over.
a thing.
It's
No.
over. It's over.
No.
You're going to be one of those Happy New Years until
it's the
like
first
the last
Tuesday of the new year. Then it'll be the first Wednesday
we
of the
can't
new
do
year.
this for every day.
Then it's going to be our first time. This is our first time in this studio of the new year. This is the first time in that studio of the new year.
No more Happy New Years after today.
But everything's the first.
No.
It is, though.
No, it's over. Today's it.
A Scrooge.
I will let you have today.
So I can't say Happy Holidays and Happy New Year to you anymore?
No, the holidays are over.
No, it's...
The Christmas tree went out the front door yesterday and back into the creek bed. Happy New Year.
Ew, where did you put it?
We throw it in the creek bed. We have a creek in our back.
A creek?
Yeah.
You put the tree in the creek?
Not in the water. There's a creek bed, and it's good for the naturalization of the soil. So anyway, the holidays are over. New Year, Happy New Year. There's a whole famous Curb Your Enthusiasm episode about this. It's over, Renee. I'll give you today, and then we move on.
Guys, it's not over. It's never over. Okay. We honestly, up until January 15th is my time.
No.
Let me live. I've been doing it this far.
Well, that's fine. You can say it to everybody but me. How about that?
Okay. Truth be told, I shouldn't say it to you again because I've already seen you. You only say Happy New Year to people the first time you see. Exactly.
Yeah.
But then technically, I want to say it again, just because.
You're gonna say it like 5 times today.
The first time you see everybody in the new year, you have to say Happy New Year to them. That's rude. It's like not saying good morning to people when you see them to start the morning.
Once.
Yeah. Okay.
Once. Just once.
Chris is saying he likes the hoodie, guys. We have so much great gear like this. Jamie's modeling it right now. We've got our PHLY locker where you guys can go buy some great merch like this, and you can be a nicer person in the hoodie. Oh, what? Merch on merch on merch.
Even though we don't want to talk about the.
I don't know that team. I don't know. who that team is.
People are here for Phillies. It's a reprieve from.
We don't know them. We don't know
our football team that's crumbling before our eyes and going down in a flaming pile of poo.
No, we don't know them at all, guys.
But you can catch the Eagles today at 2:00. Zach and Bo will be in, and I think Baldy's joining the show. So maybe there's some therapy for you to be had.
Maybe. Ugh.
Dark
Could
times.
Be worse. Very dark times. It's we're not going to talk about it. Sick of Arizona teams. Sick of our team struggling. But we're not going to talk about it, guys, right? We're not. All right, so listen. It's been a long time since I feel like we were on the show together. It's been a whole year.
Yeah. We had one day last week.
I know. Okay, so as we closed out 2023, we did a lot of kind of recapping the year, giving our predictions, giving our thoughts. And with opening day now just 86 days away, because that's time is gonna fly by. We should have a count. That's what I can do. Let's do. I'll make a countdown for us. Remember a flippy one back in school.
Like the boxing card.
I was thinking more
only it turns.
like a flip, not okay.
It's like a sandwich board.
Okay,
And then you just they flip the rounds. Right?
86. Just we'll edit an 86 between my hands.
86 is obtainable. That feels close enough. That's not depressing.
I remember when we were sitting right here, Jamie and Tyler, and I did 31 days until Christmas, the New Year, and then here we are. So just like that flew by, this 86 days is going to fly by because it feels like just yesterday. We were like, oh, yeah, it's the holiday season. So with that, we're going to get into some new stuff in the new year because it's new year, new us. We're not doing resolutions, though. At least I'm not one of those types of people.
I'm trying to cost cut. That's my goal, to not spend as frivolously. So that's my goal for this year. Hey, I bought a cold brew maker, And I did my own coffee at home today. I did not give the coffee shops any money. So I'm off to a decent start.
So you're being cheaper this year.
If that's what you want to call it, sure.
Or more responsible.
Fiscally frugal or fiscally responsible. We'll go with responsible.
I like that.
That sounds better.
That sounds better.
And then at some point, I have to get back on the Peloton and workout. That's not just golf. I golfed yesterday.
Okay.
New Year's Day golf. How about that?
Wow. The weather was decent.
Yeah, global warming's great for golf.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm not big on I'm going to make these master changes in terms of my behaviors.
I'm
and
just trying to be better myself.
But I like that. I like that. So I'm more mine's words of affirmation. So one of mine this year is elevation. This is going to be a year of elevation. Just trying to improve in a lot of areas.
Hopefully not the sea levels elevating.
Yeah, I hope not. I don't want that.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Did you hear what happened in Japan? There was a whole natural a catastrophe there. But Google it if you didn't.
No, because that stuff terrifies me. So
it is really terrifying.
I try to be an ostrich and put my head in the sand and just ignore that.
Tyler, do you have anything for this new year that is it a word? Is it a resolution? Is it, you're definitely not a resolution guy.
I'm not really.
Go see more rock concerts.
Do you want me to be deaf? I'm already going to get tinnitus as it is. You're right. I'm not a big resolution guy. I think it's more about sticking to set goals already. So I'm not going to go, okay, Tyler, I think in 2024 you should read more books or you should work out an extra day. I think it should be more along the lines of, all right, Tyler, you say you want to get to the gym 4 times a week. Let's say that was my goal. That's always been my goal. It's about 4 times. Mm-hmm. Stick to it more. Okay. So that's really more about the New Year's for me than actually trying to change something in my life through a quote resolution.
Yeah, I like that. I do think it's important in 2024 to be realistic. And so to be able to set some realistic expectations for what you want to be like this year is great. Barbara, you're saying you don't drink coffee. Does it make tea? Oh, and Barbara looks like you got a new picture for the new year too.
I'm a iced tea fanatic.
I love iced tea.
I drink
all iced teas.
I drink 3/4 of a pitcher of iced tea daily with like a half a lemon in there.
Wait, what? I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I brew daily.
For dinner? Because I don't.
No, just throughout the day. I don't
ever see. Is that what's been in there?
I bring it in a lot on Sundays. No, this is just water.
I never see you drink iced tea.
Yeah, usually on Sundays I bring one in with me, but then when I'm home, I'll just nail I drink a lot of liquids.
Yeah.
So I crush iced tea. Hot tea, I just feel doesn't give me enough caffeine, so that's why.
Caffeine junkie.
Yes.
Also, I see. Yeah, it's Chris. That's exactly what I was talking about. But also Eugene and Santiago. Hi. And then Christopher O'Donnell saying goals that aren't measurable are useless. Agreed. Well, we have some positivity ourselves for the
Japan
Phillies.
Had a 7.5 earthquake.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And it triggered a tsunami afterwards.
Wow. Rockville, Maryland had a 2.3. Thanks, Chris Slimmer. Have you ever experienced that? An earthquake?
No.
I was in Balakinwood once.
Technically, I was going to say technically yes, but it was a very low one that we had.
So I mean, ours was low, but it was enough to bug me the hell out. I was at an office building in Balakinwood, and it was just very slight, but you could feel the building wavering, and it was is that? And then sure enough, it was earthquake reported, and I was oh my God! And that was only I think less than a 1.
I don't even
maybe slightly more than a 1.
I wouldn't even want to be involved in
it was
over a 7. So this year, as I was saying, we're also going to do some new things on the show. We got some exciting things that we'll be teasing out today and honestly all week. But one of those things is we're trying to be optimistic, positive patties on this show, and sharing our positivity until we are. We're going to be positive until we're not, and we're going to have some goals, expectations, and just positive words of affirmation that we're going to speak on the Phillies this season, because it's going to be a great 2024 for the Phillies. We're just going to, what happened last year happened. It's over. We're going to look forward and we're going to be more positive. So one of the things that I think to start off with our positivity trail, let's start with the guy that was our thumbnail, and Aaron Nola, and no RAV for overall, just better pitching from Nola this year. I'm going to take it a step further though and say no RAV for 4th inning. And in fact, this year, Aaron Nola in the 4th and 5th inning is going to swing it to be the opposite. where he's going to be cleaner. He's going to get more strikeouts. His ERA in the 4th and 5th inning is going to drastically improve. And I'm expecting that we're going to get a much better Aaron Nola of consistency, that same durability, but also without having any major slumps like we saw last season.
Yeah. So, Tyler, if you missed this, Renee and I were talking about it out in the prep area. Each day, we're going to give one positive reason why this is going to be better than last year, because they've gotten there close twice. You need to get over the hump. So we're going to be positive. And today, we didn't include you in the conversation, Tyler, because we figured this one was such a layup that we'd all agree on it. But yes, Aaron Nola will be better this year than he was last year.
I like it.
It's simple. It's easy. And I think over the course of how many starts did he have last year? Like 33, 34?
My guess was 33.
Yeah. So
I mean, he hasn't missed a start in years.
Yeah. So over 33 starts, if he's even slightly better, I mean, that's the difference of 3 or 4 wins right there on the year.
32, by the way.
32?
Yeah.
Okay. So 32 starts. You know, that's a major difference, because Tyler and I on Friday, when you hopefully were enjoying your lovely off day and nice long weekend, Tyler and I talked about, like, okay, because John's take, we did a bold claims for 2024 thing.
No, we didn't.
I was a coward.
John and I did.
John and Tyler did.
I saw actually. I wasn't gonna,
It's fine.
I wasn't gonna interfere.
My point
on
wasn't really
Boys Day, but I saw the fact that you guys had quite a.
I meant more
bold
the
and
national
cowardly
recognition for Jose Alvarado. I didn't mean here locally. We all know how great I mean nationally, he's going to be regarded as one of the best. Anyway, John went the boldest, said 100 wins. And then
I like it.
Yeah, which is, you say it with your chest, John. Good work. Tyler and I then, after John left us, kind of were talking about that. And Tyler was like, man, that's going to be really hard. They've only done it 3 times in their history, 79, 77, 78, and 2011 or whatever it was. It's a really hard thing to do. And Tyler was like, all right, well, 95 should be like doable. I can buy that. And I think if Aaron Nola has that better year this year, which I think is going to be tough not to do.
Yeah.
I think they can very much be that 95-ish win team. So that's how important I think he is. So we're starting easy, and we'll get more and more complicated. But Aaron Nola is going to be better this year, plain and simple.
Yeah, he absolutely is. I know Matt is saying in the chat, and we've talked about this too, he does alternate good and bad years. Of course, last year was a down year. So we're expecting that this upcoming 2024 season is going to be a better season for Aaron Nola. And that is a great, easy way to start. We're going to continue. We're like, it's manifestation, which is a very real thing. We're manifesting
Talking
all
it into
these
existence.
all this positive juju all January for the Phillies. So, yeah, we're speaking that into existence.
Yeah, hypothetical man says all he has to do is give up less home runs. Yes, and what was the other one? Jonathan says, I think the looming free agency maybe bothered him more so than he let on.
Yeah.
This year he should be settled in. Agreed on both of those. I mean, it was a career high in home runs allowed. He seemed to, I don't know whether it was situationally called pitches that he shouldn't have been throwing, if he was just missing his spots, whatever it may have been. The home runs need to be cut down. I think they will. And, yeah, I mean, I would imagine a looming free agency. Usually players play up to, a level of obtaining new money, but he, for whatever reason, didn't. I think he's one of these guys, and I kind of believe this from, what we've known about him for 6 or 7 years. Like, the contract doesn't mean much to him.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, he signs a $171 million deal, and he's like, yeah, it's really nice for my kids. Like, I don't think he plays the game for the money. I think he's one of those types. It's a credit to him. But maybe it did bother him more than we realized. I don't know.
I imagine when you start to have things like the rap for 4th inning over and over and over again, for example, and that you're, this is a big year for you. You're heading into free agency and heading into uncharted waters, as he talked about. Like, he wanted to fully experience free agency. But on the other side of that, I'm sure there was absolutely fear about, wait a minute, what if I'm not back next year? What if this is my last year with the Phillies?
Yeah, and I do think he loves it here.
And I do too. And he seems like everything him and his family have talked about, him and his wife, is like how much they genuinely love the people here. They love the city, and this is where they want it to be. And so when you think about those nostalgic moments, like this could be my last time with the Phillies.
Yeah.
This could be my last time at Citizens Bank Park. That nostalgia can wear on you, and you can't play sports and be thinking, period. But you definitely can't play if you're thinking like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think that's an easy one, but I think it's a real easy one to get behind of why this season is going to be better. Tyler, any disagreements?
No, I don't think so, because if you think about the whip for Aaron Nola last year. It was 1-1. It was mid 1-1, which is really quite solid for a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Because you figure, whip is if you're at 1, you're giving up effectively 1 base runner per inning of your own doing. Of course, errors are a different story, but he gave up 178 hits last year, and 32 of them were home runs, which is effectively somewhere between 1/6 and 1/5 of the hits that he's given up. We're talking like 17, 18%.
It was a lot of just like mistake situations.
Yeah, it was missed spots. And I bet you if we went back and tracked some of the home runs that he allowed, I'd love to know how many 2-strike home runs it was, because that seemed to be an undoing for him last year. Was he gets a little complacent when he gets ahead in the count, which is strange. But his home run numbers jumped from 19 to 32 last year. Even if that settles somewhere in between and it was the 26 that he gave up in 2021, you're figuring that's at minimum a 6-run drop-off, which drops him from minimum 96 earned runs given up to 90 earned runs. And that 4.4 gets down to probably 4.1, 4.2. And I think that's just natural regression,
right. or
maybe natural. That's a positive, natural movement. I think that you probably get a 3.7, 3.6, 3.7 Aaron Nola next year, and you're totally content.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't have to be major. And I feel like most of what we will say with our positivity trail is minor things that can go a long way, because yes, Barbara, the end goal is winning the World Series. I know also Hypothetical Man and different people were saying wanting to win the division. Yeah. I mean, those are the goals. But
I don't care about the division.
Steps.
I just want to be closer to the Braves. I just want it to be a race.
Yeah,
because I don't really care about winning the division per se.
Especially with the way that
home field's nice and all, but like the Phillies have shown you, they don't care about going down to Truist Field and punching the Braves in the mouth. So as long as it's a race and you're not like 12 games out of it, if you go down to the wire with the Braves, I don't think there's any shame in finishing second to.
No.
I mean, it's Dodgers, Braves, Phillies, and then a steep drop off to the 4th place team. So it is what it is. Sure, the winning the division's nice and all, but it's not going to like consume me.
No. And that's the thing. Like, it's not something that's not the end, the most important goal.
World Series.
Because once it's just get into the playoffs and then go from there. And no, Eugene and Santiago, your trolling is what it is. I just let it rock. I'm just casually, I see your comments, just casually seeing them run through the chat. New Year's same comments, guys.
New Year, no songs, Renee? No? Was that what he's insinuating?
No. They
Sometimes I'm scared Renee will put us on blast on X. I think he means what was the song you did that people were blaming you for?
No, they think I'm gonna like troll them, I think, and like say something. I don't know, to be honest.
No, I took that as the song people were blaming the Phillies loss.
Well, they did blame me too.
Yeah,
so I mean, I forgot about that, Jamie. Thanks for the reminder that that video was going around. No, that's fine. Okay.
You were like the Padres. That's what's in person.
I was literally that person. There was a whole tweet going on about me, and a lot of people commenting like, "What the hell is this? This is why we lost. This is the foolishness that caused us to lose." And I'm like, all right, that was from like September, and I was just having fun on the show, and somehow somebody found it and repurposed it. It's cool, guys. Everything's fine. It's fine.
You had your moment of fame.
I did.
That's what's in, girl.
I was the iceberg for the Titanic.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Well, Renee, if you know anything about me in 2024, you know that bagels are a big part of my life. They always have been ever since I discovered bagels, the Lender's Frozen, and then I graduated to like real bagels. And then when I learned that Brooklyn-style New York bagels were being brought to us here in Philadelphia, my heart exploded with joy. It's that simple. And everything bagel, I'll never be able to quit you. But there's more at Bagels & Company. They got all sorts of stuff. They do holiday-themed things. They're going to be doing Sixers, Flyers, Phillies, Eagles bagels. They got a whole ton of new stuff. And the best part is they're bringing the finest exports of Rat City, a.k.a. New York and Brooklyn, and they're bringing it down here to us in our own backyard. And I appreciate that about Bagels & Company, or Bagels & Co., I should say. So they have the world-famous Brooklyn-style bagels right here, large variety, usually 15 to 20 different types to choose from daily. They have a huge cream cheese variety, 30 different flavors of cream cheeses and schmears. I love saying the word schmear. And many staples of seasonal flavors, as well as, they're huge sports fans, so they're going to get into all the sports stuff. Maybe the Kelly Green cream cheeses you can just move on from. because that doesn't appear to be going well. But, the Flyers and Sixers are playing really well, so go get yourself some nice Flyers and Sixers schmears. They're an affordable brand, so you get a lot of food for cheap. And in today's economy,
Oh, we're still doing this.
Yeah, it's 2024 now, Renee. Your money should go a long way in the food game, and Bagels & Company has got your back. They've debated raising their prices, but they don't want to do that. They want to be an everyday brand and not some high-end place you splurge on the weekends. They have a mom-and-pop feel to them, but they cater to the everyday needs. You don't have to go to the big name brand stores where things are way too much money. Just go to Bagel & Company. They got your back. For the best Brooklyn-style bagels made right here in Philly, head to thebagelsandco.com/store-locator to find the closest Bagels & Co. near you. While we're here taking care of some business, I just got to give my wife a nice digital pat on the back because she used the Game Time app to help get me a Christmas gift.
Oh,
we're going to a concert on a school night, a Thursday.
What?
I know.
You rebels.
We're going to a Black Puma show in town. It's a Thursday night. Philly, I think, always kind of gets the shaft with the big touring artists because you're stuck between New York and like some other major. So it's just like, Philly, just give them like Wednesday night or Thursday night.
Always.
So whatever. That's not Game Time's fault. That's, the tour schedule's fault. But my wife used Game Time, and you can save $20 on your first purchase as well by using code PHLY, because buying tickets should not be stressful. Game Time is a fast and easy way for all the tickets to sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. My sister was talking about taking my mom to go see the Frozen musical with my niece. I said, use the Game Time app, code PHLY. Don't be a dummy. They have killer deals on last-minute tickets, best price guarantee. You can stop stressing over the tickets and start thinking about all the fun you're going to have. You can get image of your seat views. They have a lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection. Game Time basically has your back here. So don't be a dummy. Use Game Time. Buy tickets in a matter of seconds. Just 2 taps and you're set. And they are sent directly to your phone, so you never have to dig through your email. So snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, just create an account and redeem code PHLY for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Well, one thing's for sure, even though it is a new year, we are still very behind on the show sheet because that's how we roll. We've gotten
That doesn't mean we have to do an hour 45 today. Right?
We've gotten 2 things done that we had noted in our show sheet, and one was opening day is only 86 days away.
And that was just like a
and that's not even like a topic of discussion in that sense. All right, well, let's move along then. Let's run through this. So we're not going to talk about the Phillies yearbook video because
I am not ready to watch that.
Nope. So we're just going to move on from that.
I get why the Phillies release it. It's the new year.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their
calendar, ender. I'm not ready to watch it.
End of the year, start of the new year,
The first time I will watch it is a rain delay next year.
What?
Because they always put them on during the rain delays. So, next year, a rain delay will be on, and unless there's, something better on, I'll go, all right, I'll finally watch.
What do you mean? They're going to air High Hopes for the 9 millionth time.
Yeah.
Isn't that how this works?
That's true.
Don't we know how rain delays work by now?
Sometimes you get a little bit of the updated yearbook. But, yeah, I'm
Buy
not.
this pan. Yeah, that's the other one.
I'm not ready to watch it.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. Also, I do want to quickly flip-flop and talk about the City Connect uniforms because it's giving Tyler Philadelphia Union and Eagles throwback, as it was reported that Todd Zlecki actually dropped a little note hinting that we're going to see some homage, honorage, whatever the word some honoring of the Philadelphia flag or the Pennsylvania flag, I guess. No, is it the Philly flag technically?
It's the Philadelphia flag. It's the city flag.
I didn't grow up in Philly,
Swedish.
so I didn't study this flag.
Because the Swedish were the founders, and I believe it's Mummers are Swedish.
Yeah, and it's the light blue and yellow. So there's no official confirmation and reports about exactly what the City Connect uniforms are going to look like. But the reports and rumors are around it having a similar vibe in what I've immediately pictured as the Philadelphia Union's light blue and yellow kits, which I actually like. But what I don't like, the Eagles.
The Eagles was a swing and a miss.
A huge strikeout. So it makes me kind of like, oh boy, which side of this are we going to get? Are we going to get kind of a similar nice look that we have for the Union, or is it going to be a very bad look like we had for the Eagles.
In 1938, I believe, I had a back and forth on Twitter with a guy, Matt Albertson, who's a sabermetric baseball guy, a fellow baseball nerd, and I say that nicely.
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever you're a nerd about something, it's not a negative thing.
Yeah, I like
everybody's a nerd about something.
Nerd.
I'm a golf nerd, a beer nerd, probably a food nerd.
I found out I was a nerd because I was excitedly talking with my friends about how kids these days will never understand the beauty of having textbooks. And I was like, there's nothing like...
They still have textbooks, don't they?
No, not really. They have, it's like workbooks and paper, but they don't have like the old, you carry around big textbooks.
The lamination and the brown paper bags.
And there was nothing like when you got a new textbook and you opened it for the first time and it smelled.
From the punk upperclassmen, and they would like write little penises like in the column.
That was cool too. But I love like a new textbook, and when you open it, it had that sound to it and it just smelled so good.
Yeah, I
found out I was a nerd.
I went to an all-guys school.
So
that was just you did as well.
Yeah.
That
there was penises in the columns.
I mean, that happens in every school where everybody's drawing and writing notes and doing random ridiculous things.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's how I found out I already knew I was a nerd, but that confirmed.
Yeah. Well, everybody's a nerd about something. Eugene Krabs, the Eagles did score 56 points in those jerseys, so maybe they do bring them back. But yes, Matt Albertson, anyway, back to that. 1938 or 1939, the Phillies did have that blue and goldish uniform as a tribute to the city flag, and he shared a picture with me, which actually, Tyler, see if you can just Google that real quick and maybe we can screen share it. It's a blue and gold, I think 1938 Phillies jersey. It wasn't as bad as I was expecting.
Yeah.
I think as long as you don't do it like the Eagles did, where it's just two colors and like blah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like I think if you do like the script like yellow and maybe like a faded light blue.
Yeah.
It didn't look as bad as I thought it was going to. It wasn't Eagles bad. It appears this is what it's going to be. Zalecki's talked about it. Kyle Pagan from Crossing Broad, Phillies Nation. A bunch of these, outlets have all said, this is what it's going to be. So I just hope they get it right.
And I know Jonathan in the chat actually has a great point of like leaking these City Connect concepts as a feeler, because you do want to get it right. This is major.
Oh, well,
because
it's marketing dollars.
It's huge marketing dollars. And you want to make sure that you drop a really good looking uniform. And light blue and yellow is that's a tough blend. And I love mixing and matching colors. The script. But yeah, it's got to
It can't be the backdrop.
Oh, no. And that's the thing.
The hat has to be blue.
You have to have like a white in there or something that's like offsetting it, because it can't look like highlighters. Like it can't just be too bright and blinding.
The possibility of going wrong is
Phillies-esque with it. Like the colors aren't enough to just scream Philly. You know what I mean? It's have to have something that's like, okay, this is the Phillies versus this is just some generic team. So yeah, I'm interested to see what they drop, and I'm really did you find it, Tyler, by chance? It's okay.
It's a tough search.
I was trying to I Twitter searched about 6 different things and nothing came up.
Okay, so here, I'm going to drop this in the Slack. I think this is like a variation of what it was. There's not that much blue in it.
I don't see any blue. I thought I was colorblind.
Well, it's
there's some blue on the
little
sleeve.
bit on the sleeve and like the city patch here.
Is the dress gold, or is it? But what was that back a couple years ago where they were trying to figure out what color? The picture of the dress, and people are like,
gold
"No, it's gold." And it's like, no,
this is not. That's not it. That better not be it. It better not.
Well,
be like that.
Matt's point in our Twitter discussion was like it's probably going to be a variation of this, just modernized. So Tyler, I just put that in our Slack channel. If you can,
we already have like the powder blue,
but that's not as bad as I was. I was expecting the worst. And if they do like the homage to the 1938 jersey, like okay, I could see it.
That's giving very retro throwback. If it's something along those lines,
we'll see.
I don't know. I'm interested.
I'd love to buy the hat. Like, to me, I'm not going to buy a jersey. I already have a Ryan Howard jersey. I'm good for life. But I will buy the hat if it's cool. So, like,
you're thinking more
don't
light
fuck
blue
up the hat, please.
than more yellow.
It's got to be a blue hat with a yellow P. Like, that could be cool.
How is this any different from just powder blue?
Because the powder blue, they wear the maroon hat with the white P.
Yeah, but
so
like
this
you
is
already
a different
have,
hat.
but it's all the same. It's all blues.
No, because they don't have they have the royal blue hat, which is my least favorite, with the red brim.
Yeah.
So, like, if you go light blue, I don't like the royal blue on a hat for some reason. Light blue, you got my interest. Just don't fuck it up. You know what I mean? So this is the jersey in 1938 that the Phillies wore.
Got a very rustic look.
Yeah, it's very old school, but you can see like blue on the seams of the buttons and around the patch on the sleeve with the yellow Phillies across it. So that just went on Hun auctions not that long ago. But anyway, like I was once thinking this is going to be the worst. Now I'm like, all right, this could actually work.
I don't like it.
Like when I first heard it, I was like, oh, because I thought Eagles right away. Like,
yeah, well,
that was offensive to my eyeballs.
I literally wrote, I'm like, Union and Eagles. This is what it's giving. I agree though with Jonathan. Like the fact that people, I was like, state flag, city flag. You know, I know it's a City Connect jersey, so obviously it's the city flag. But like nobody's actively saying, oh wow, that's the Philly flag. That's exactly what this means.
Yeah, I don't know any Philadelphian
to, like, Google it and look it up.
Blue and gold is like necessarily like you see it at City Hall.
I didn't start paying attention to it until again like the Union and then obviously the Eagles jersey. But I tried to forget that happened.
That's as butt cheeks as Nicki Minaj, Santiago says.
Sounds about Santiago. Sounds about right. Okay, it's not awful.
Eugene
it has a very rustic old
my ass
look. It definitely looks dirty. Well, so I don't know. It should be like a cream. Oh, of course. But like, I'm like, what's the base? Like, is it white? Is it cream? Is it?
I think it's gonna be grayish with like some blue trim and like. I think the lettering's going to be yellow.
Blue and yellow are quite a combination.
Well, blue and gold is the color of LaSalle College High School, so I support it.
Well, blue and gold is more like a navy-ish gold, though, for LaSalle University.
Wow. Can't all be LaSalle University people, Renee.
Yeah, well, what about LaSalle, I don't know, World? LaSalle Universe.
Yeah. Well,
is that where we're going with this?
Locally
like, are we just beating our chests about...
Yeah, what LaSalle we went to?
Yeah,
LaSalle locally just took home the LaSallian Cup in ice hockey. So there you go.
I would hope LaSalle took the LaSalle Cup home.
Well, they played
otherwise things
St. John's, Christian Brothers, and one other one.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, so a little high school hockey talk.
The good thing is, as we get these uniforms and we do find out exactly what they're going to look like, that's a great time to now go buy them and make sure that you're rocking the latest. And where you can do that is, of course, at FOCO. So FOCO is the spot that always gives you the latest up-to-date merchandise, collectibles, bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, sweatshirts, slippers, sunglasses, you name it, they've got it. They've got our backs covered here in Philly, which is always having the latest and the greatest merchandise. And also you can head on over to FOCO, use code PHLY10 at FOCO to get 10% off. Again, that's PHLY10. It's on your screen down here to be able to get 10% off. And honestly, when these City Connect jerseys do drop, you're going to want to buy them. Just like as we get closer and closer to the start of the season and opening day, but just 86 days away, you're going to want some new merch to rock at Citizens Bank Park and even just around the tailgates and around your house. So make sure you go over to FOCO, take advantage of that deal because they have some awesome merchandise, including some holiday-specific things because now we are rolling into a new holiday, sadly. So FOCO, the greatest spots to be able to buy some merchandise. All right.
What's our next holiday that we celebrate? President's Day?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a fake one.
It is. Valentine's Day is essentially the next one. Okay, so
they're right around the same time.
Top pitchers. MLB Nerds released their top 50 pitchers.
This was such a Tyler Zulli account to follow on Twitter because I learned about them through him. he quote tweeted it on my timeline, and I'm like, "What's MLB Nerds?"
Sorry.
And then of course I dive into it, and I'm like, "Oh, it's exactly what you'd expect."
Yeah. So top 50 MLB pitchers list gets released by MLB Nerds and Tyler. And just kidding, it's not Tyler. And so I feel like these are the types of moments that every once in a while remind us, the Phillies with Aaron Nola and Zack Wheeler.
It's pretty good.
Got it good. We as much as we want bullpen arms, starting pitchers, we talk about the rotations, we talk about the lineup, we talk about all these different things across the Phillies. When you look at starting pitchers specifically, that is an area that the Phillies definitely always are sitting pretty. So Aaron Nola and Zack Wheeler appear to be in their top 10.
Yes.
And that's not a surprise to me at all.
But Nola being in the top 10 was a little bit of a surprise to me.
He's been in the top 10 for many starting pitcher lists that I've seen as of
this
recent.
is the first time, Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, that you can emphatically say, he probably is top 10 because in years past you had Scherzer and Verlander and
DeGrom.
Kershaw, DeGrom. You had 4 or 5 guys that were Hall of Fame level good that were kind of roadblocking that top 10 a little bit. And you could make cases year by year that, Nola was top 10 this year, not top 10 this year, maybe top 10 again this year, and he finished top 5 in Cy Young voting 2 times in 5 years. So like you could make the case he was there, but I don't think nationally was recognized as like a lock top 10 guy. Yeah. I think that now pitching in Major League Baseball, which we'll get into with the Cy Young list here in a minute, also it's not as good as it was 5 years ago. It's a lot younger guys who are coming up. And so now I think you can make the case that Aaron Nola is a top 10 pitcher in baseball fairly easily. So the way that MLB Nerds did it, they're doing the reverse 50 to and they slow release, as you said. So they're 20 through 11 pitchers. I'm just going to read them off real quick. Number 20, Dylan Cease, who's not going to the Braves, which we'll get to in a minute. Hooray. Cody Senga, the Japanese pitcher who came over last year, comes in at 19. Framber Valdez, who we still have PTSD about from the World Series 2 years ago. Cole Reagans from Kansas City, number 17. Kyle Bradish, number 16. Luis Castillo, number 15. Tariq Skubal. Did I say that right, Tyler?
I think he's Tark.
Skubal, number 14, Max Fried, and a stupid. Well, actually, I'm thinking Strider. Never mind. I was going to bring the mustache into this. Pablo Lopez, number 12, and then Zach Gallen, who of course we knew about in the NLCS this year, at number 11. So that means that Wheeler and Nola are going to be in MLB Nerds top 10.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see how this top 10 shakes out. It's just a fun offseason thing to kind of follow, but. If that's 11 through 20 in baseball, like I feel like baseball, and most of these guys are young for the most part. It's not great right now.
No, and I think what also made me concerned as I looked through the list is the number of teams that are represented. Because for the Phillies right now, no one outside of, obviously we haven't gotten the official top 10, but you're going to...
So the Braves will have 2 in the top 15.
Right, and they already have 3 in the remainder of 11 through 50.
Yeah.
So they're going to have 5.
I wonder if they include Yamamoto in this.
Did I count that correctly?
Like, do you think Yamamoto gets put as a top 10?
I'm not sure if they've included... Obviously, we don't know. I don't know if they've included Yamamoto. I'm not sure if they're considering Ohtani at all because it's heading into next year. My guess is they probably don't. Because he's not going to pitch it all next year. Mm-hmm. But so...
Jim, it's MLB Nerds on Twitter. He's asking whose list was this.
There's a lot of... I don't know if you guys noticed this or not. There felt like a lot of projection in this list. And maybe that's why they're talking specifically heading into 2024 because... like myself, I know MBD is also big on Skubal as well. I think Skubal takes that next jump into...
I was going to say, Skubal, Reagans, and Bradish are on that verge of taking a step where maybe could be better.
Right. So Reagans is the guy that the Royals got for Aroldis Chapman at the trade deadline, and he pitched significantly better in Kansas City than he did in Texas over the course of the first season. But they're like some of the guys that are on the back end of this list, like Taj Bradley, has 6 stuff for the Rays. His stuff is great.
I got him in a keeper league,
but he hasn't pitched a whole lot, in the major leagues to this point.
He got sent back down at the end of last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Hunter Green's the same way. Like he's pitched more in Major League Baseball. He's had a couple of seasons under his belt. Throws like 100. His average fastball velocity was like 99 last season.
Wasn't he a kid at 16 that was on like the SI cover?
Wouldn't surprise me.
As like
But my point to this whole thing is there seems to be a lot of projection in this list, and I guess that's why they're specifically saying heading into 2024.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the generational thing. Like the old guard is like on their way out.
Yep.
The guys like Nola who have been like steady stewards now like get elevated some, and then you project with like these young guys and see who's going to take the step or not. But the point of this is the Phillies have 2 of the top 10, and that's really effing good.
That's great. I'm excited to see what the top 10 order is.
So am I.
Because I definitely like looking at this. So like the Astros have 4 different pitchers across the list of 11 to 50. The Diamondbacks have 3. The Braves have just 1 with Max Fried. But for the top 10 specifically, it does make you intrigued on like what is this? What's the order going to be? Who do we predict?
Well, I think there's a definitive lock at 1. Like we can just chalk up Garrett Cole as number 1, correct?
Yeah.
Like that's
you could make the case of Ohtani if you were counting them, but
I would imagine he probably isn't going to be counted.
I don't think Ohtani will be on this list because of again the wording of heading into 2024.
Right, if it's heading into 2024 and he's not pitching in 2024. then he shouldn't be a top 10.
Hypothetical
but if it's
man
going based off like career-wise,
yeah. So I think this is interesting because like hypothetical man says, I'm a Nola guy, but there's a few guys here I would take over them. But to your point about like track record and proving it, consistency is the hardest part of being elite. I think year after year. Yeah. And so like a Skubal, a Reagans, a Bradish, a Castillo, like these guys that took that giant leap, can they repeat it again next year? Whereas Nola's already kind of done that. So it's a good debate.
I actually was curious, and I'm glad they actually, MLB Nerds put a tweet out with this as well. So for reference, they said for their list, all rankings are projections for 2024 output. Think of it as a WAR prediction in most cases, and lists were made from statistics based on Baseball Reference, Fangraphs, Baseball Prospectus, and a few others. And so they're ranking based off of, the culmination of different statistics and looking at projections. So it's not essentially just like, what have they done, but what are we expecting them to do in 2024?
So they expect all these guys to take that step. And if a Skubal does take that step or Castillo does it again, you can very easily make the case they might be ahead of Nola now. Now, Neil Dever says, I would take Fried and Gallen over Nola. I love this stuff. Like
I would take Gallen over Nola. I would not take
11.
I would not take Fried.
Because of the
and I could see Nola being at 10.
Right, exactly.
So that to me makes sense.
Are you just talking for 1 year?
I think moving forward, I would probably take Gallen over Nola.
Well, I'm just saying for 1 year because it kind of takes the age out of it. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you take Gallen because he's younger. But, like, for 1 year, that's a really interesting one.
So
okay.
If you guys know we're going way deeper than we thought we would.
That's what we do,
I'm writing it down, actually. I'm writing down our list.
That's what we do.
That tells me Yamamoto's in the top 10.
I would think.
It is projections going into 2024.
That's what I mean. So I'm thinking Yamamoto's in the top 10. You've got
Where
Nola.
do you have him in the top 10, in your opinion?
Probably like 6 or 7. I would think that's where they're going to end up putting him.
I'm writing it out.
I think you've got Yamamoto. It's Nola and Wheeler. It's definitively Garrett Cole.
Oh, okay, wait. So
That's
one is
4.
Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to try and guess their top 10?
Sure,
I like this.
Sure,
right.
let's do it.
So are we saying Ohtani's out?
I think so,
if
because
it's
there's a 0 for 2024. He's not pitching.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. Yes, we got a bordering on hot take in the chat. I'll just say lukewarm because I don't think it's like laughable. Hypothetical man, what up? Welcome back from your cruise.
Yes.
I think Wheels is every bit as good as Garrett Cole.
I
mean, Wheeler, you can make the case he's definitely top 5. You can make the case he's top 3 if Ohtani's not involved.
I put him at. Well, who else is number 2?
Blake Snell's going to be in there. Let's have Blake Snell.
Blake Snell's not in there.
Blake Snell's at 20-something.
I was going to say, Blake
really?
Snell's already
I
ranked.
thought he was going to be like the 10 guy.
No.
Okay. Well, you can't have Sonny Gray in there, right?
No, Sonny Gray's in the 20s as well.
Steele from the Cubs, he was already listed.
Steele is 22.
Montgomery, was he listed?
I thought so.
No, I don't believe he was.
Yes, he is 23.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
wow.
He's way back.
Oh, yeah. This makes you wonder.
So
Logan Webb, they're not going to have him top 10, are they?
I don't. Was he already on the list? I don't think he was.
So are they going to have him top 10?
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
I would say.
Are they still going to have a Verlander or a Scherzer?
No, Verlander.
they're already ranked.
DeGrom returned from
DeGrom's
injury?
not on the.
Wait, Verlander, I thought was already. Yeah,
he was already
Verlander's
listed
at
too.
33.
Corbin Burns? All right,
Corbin
so Spencer
Burns,
Strider.
Spencer Strider.
This is what I have
Kevin
right
Gausman.
down.
Gauss. Ooh, you think?
Yes.
Because I just said that repeating it's the hardest part.
Kevin Gausman's on that list.
Kevin Gausman's been a gas can in his career until lately.
Kevin
Hypothetical
Gausman's
man
been
was
really
saying-
good for the last 2 or 3 years now.
Is it 2 or 3?
I think
it's
so.
Mad Max 2.
Burns, Strider, Cole, and Gausman.
And George Kirby's going to be the sneak on there. They're going to put George Kirby on that list.
Yeah, I mean, he was really good last year for Seattle. Seattle's got 1.04 whip last year for Kirby with a 246 batting average.
Gausman in the last 3 full seasons was 2.8, 3.3, 3.1.
Okay.
He's been every bit
All
legit.
right, I guess he's stabilized. Yeah, you're right.
His final year in San Francisco and since he's come over to Toronto.
Jesus Luzardo, does he sneak in there?
He's already on the list.
He's already on the list.
Okay, so then I have Cole, Wheeler, Strider, Kirby, Burns, Gausman, Yamamoto, and Nola. That takes us to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Berrios? They don't have Berrios in there, do they?
We're missing 2 people that we think are...
I mean, Logan Webb, if he's not on the list, is probably going to get in there.
It's probably going to be Logan Webb.
And then you're talking like Bassett, Berrios. You want to think Framber Valdez is already listed.
He's already on there.
He's already, yeah.
Burns we had on, right?
Yeah.
Kirby. I think Kirby's going to get in.
Do you think Sonny Gray?
Oh, I agree. Kirby gets in.
Yeah.
Sonny Gray was already listed.
I didn't see him. What number is he?
Yeah, he's
Merrill Kelly
35.
Does he?
Merrill Kelly's 34.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he's there.
I don't. And you have Yamamoto written down?
I have Yamamoto
So we're
written down.
missing one? Who are we missing?
So who do we have again?
So Cole, Wheeler, Strider, Kirby, Burns, Gausman, Yamamoto, and Nola.
What about Steele? Is he listed?
Did you put Webb in there?
No.
Write down Logan Webb, and then we'll refine.
Steele is 22, I believe.
Okay.
So
So
now we're up to
22.
9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Guys, it's Taiwan Walker. Come on.
There it is. Now it makes me wonder
Had
if
to get
it's
my shouts
like
in.
Otani, but she should not be
No.
listed because he's not pitching in 2024.
They're not going to do Zach Eflin, right? Like injuries.
He's on the list. He's already been listed.
He's already
He's
been listed.
25.
Jeez,
Jesus
this is
Luzardo?
tough.
Jesus? You said he was listed?
So I have a question. Was Tyler Glasnow listed?
Oh, I don't think I
You
saw
think they
it.
project
I
with the
think-
Dodgers lineup?
I think
Like-
that's insane to put him in a top 10.
Yeah,
And you
absolutely.
know how much I like Tyler Glasnow. I
No,
think it's
he's not.
insane to put him in
He
a
is
top
not.
10.
That would be wild,
It
MLB
would be a
nerds.
horrible decision,
Oh.
but
Christian Javier, hypothetical man?
it's
what's
47.
it? 47?
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, Jose Barrios is 46 on their list.
Okay.
He was way down.
Damn, it might be Glasnow.
He's not ranked so far. So I feel like
I think there's more likelihood he's not in the top 50 than he is in the top 10.
Yeah, that's
but
too
I think it would be insane. By the way, the guy that I would put in the top 10, they have at 12. I think Pablo Lopez has another great year.
You're just saying that because of backyard baseball, aren't you? Isn't that one of the
Pablo
guys?
Sanchez.
Oh, that was Pablo Sanchez, not Lopez. Idiot.
Every once in a
I
while,
missed that game.
Every once in a
gonna have
while, there's a trade that works out for both teams. That seemed to work for both the Twins and the Marlins.
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna have to see as they release their top 10 because this really this could go in so many different directions.
Neil says, hot take, are we sure Nola makes the list? Any chance he doesn't?
I think based off of
No,
this,
he has
has
to.
to be on the list.
Because there's no way he's not top 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that he's
And
not
that's
been
the thing.
announced.
You can't
Even after one down year, you're still
right. You can't
top
have
50.
him off this. Like he's got to be on the list. And
Yeah, it's
since we
actually
haven't seen him yet,
kind of hard to do to
It
predict the
is.
top 10.
so we'll have to just circle back on that one because
I'm sure they're releasing it probably today or tomorrow.
yeah, as that
So
gets
we'll
released,
check our work.
we will. Wait, we never gave an order, but at least we have our names.
We can refine the order tomorrow.
Deal. Sounds great.
I think Garrett Cole won, but Zack Wheeler, to the point of like Phillies
He's
being
definitely.
he might be. Tyler, what do you think? 3?
But then who do you have
Wheeler?
number 2? I feel like he's number 2.
I think he's probably 3 or 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's your number 2 and 3 then?
So
That's the
it's
thing. There's no clear 2.
Yeah, I feel like it's Zach Wheeler,
it's probably.
and I'm not being biased when I say that.
I mean,
Maybe I am being biased.
Probably a little bit. We can't help it.
I
Maybe
think
a
they
smidge.
probably go Strider too.
See, but I'm taking Wheeler over Strider.
See, I would put Strider
you
3.
talked about productivity. The guy struck out almost 300 batters last year.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's nasty. There's no
Again,
doubt
his
about it.
projection going into 2024, so that could also put Strider at number 2. I don't if they might think that it's going to be a bigger season.
Love the discussion in the chat today. You guys are really bringing it. This
You
is a lot
really
of fun.
are. You really are. And you know what else is great? You guys have also been bringing great comments and chats in conversation in our Discord.
Yeah, they
So shout
have.
out to all the diehards because the conversation that we have here, if you're not part of our Discord and a diehard, you also can continue that in our Discord channel that
Yeah,
we
we got
have the
given a
same types
homework.
of, I know, we have the same types of exciting and just kind of like projections and rankings and all the fun stuff that truthfully, there's no right or wrong. You know, at the end of the day, it's just
all
putting
opinions,
out.
and they
we're
all
gonna have
stink.
we're gonna have some more predictions on the show because whether it's power rankings or our way too early season predictions, we're gonna get more. So if you want to continue this chat, keep it going in the Discord, and we do want to give a special shout out to our diehard member Pixies 007. Pew, pew, pew. Because we're
That's
gonna.
not how you do it, Renee. The kids, don't they do it like this now? What's that dance?
No,
The
I wasn't
LSU.
trying to do the dance. I was just doing like a 007, you know, like he's.
Is that how they do it? I'm hip. I'm cool. Or is it like that?
I don't know.
You know the dance like the LSU team did in the White House?
Yeah, but it just doesn't. I was doing more 007, like.
I know, but if 007 was shooting today, wouldn't he be doing this?
Probably not.
No?
Sure, JD. Sure. You're totally giving 007 vibes. Watch out. What's the guy that always plays him? Jason or whatever his name is?
Jason Derulo? Oh. What are you talking about?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
The actor that plays
Daniel Craig?
There's
Who are we talking about? Bond, a rapper, what?
The guy that plays 007.
That was Daniel Craig most recently, right?
Yeah, not Jason Derulo, the rapper. Jason Derulo. Like
all I know about him is he fell down the steps at the...
He's a rapper.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was like, maybe he sang the song. I didn't know.
You were doing so well, and then
I think I'm still doing pretty well. I just missed where you were going at the fourth.
I don't know. I don't think.
No.
Jason Derulo and 007 James Bond.
Yeah, Daniel Craig.
Go in the same conversation.
Are you a Bond person?
Not really, actually.
Ooh, the last one was really good with Remy Malek. What's that guy's actor's
I mean, I
name?
like them, but
Remy
I'm not
Malek.
Okay.
What?
Anyways.
Remy Malek.
Yeah, Remy Malek.
Okay.
I had no confidence in saying it. I knew I was like in the vicinity.
All right.
But he was a really good bad guy. Yeah.
You're doing good.
Yeah, thanks.
So.
Remy Malek, I was like pretty close.
Just give yourself a really hard pat on the back. Why is it so like you're supposed to do a little? That's what I just heard.
Christopher O'Donnell makes a really good point. Maybe Ranger Suarez is the other pitcher in the top 10. Just got to think about that one overnight.
Anything's possible, guys.
Maybe
possible.
MLB nerds saw the adorableness.
Yes, and we're like, this
he's a top 10 pitcher.
The Phillies
based
are going to have 3
cuteness.
top 10 pitchers.
So heard it here first.
Barbara, I am so happy to hear you liked our watch parties because we're going to have more fun like that as well. So yeah, we've got the diehards that are in the Discord. So go join that conversation. We have our watch parties. We have a lot of things.
All PHLY.com.
All the things, exactly. So one of our diehard members, let's get back to where we were. This is where 007, 007 went left. Pixies 007, I'm not going to say the words anymore, brought a conversation into the chat about some lineup talk, was curious about what we thought the Phillies lineup was going to look like, as well as bullpen arms for spring training, and then also any updates on Montgomery and Snell and which we would prefer. I'm going to actually start with the updates, Jamie, because I feel like it's going to be quicker, and we're going to hit the lineup last because knowing how we operate at 12:53, we're going to take a little while to talk about the lineups. Now, for Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell, funny, Jordan Montgomery, Blake Snell, still undecided, still unsure. There are 6 clubs that are in the mix for Montgomery. The Phillies are one of them. Allegedly, it's the Giants, Angels, Yankees, Red Sox, Mets, and Phillies. And for Blake Snell, the Angels and Giants, it seems like they're going to have possibly a bidding war there. But there also have been reports from a number of different people. But John Heyman's been the one actively updating, saying that the Angels, and there's a connection with Snell as they're looking to, of course, replace a pretty big hole left on their roster, left by none other than Ohtani.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty massive.
Pretty massive.
Just like, 50 home runs and a 2 ERA. And,
yeah, for sure. So it seems like there's going to be some possible competition because there, of course, been those teams that were actively and aggressively looking to try to snatch Yamamoto or Ohtani and weren't able to do so. So now they're pivoting and going elsewhere. So it seems like for both, the Phillies have been mentioned as a possible, not fully out of the mix, but a possible. I know there were some other names across free agency and different moves that I've been keeping an eye on. But for those two, I don't think the Phillies are picking up either of them.
I think they're going to, talk to the agent, see what the asking price is. And, we'll see. If I had to choose, I would rather have Snell on a 3-year deal. I don't want to go. Tyler and I talked about this on Friday. I wouldn't want to go past 3 years with Snell. And kind of similar for Montgomery. Like if they were viable, like actual landing spots, I really wouldn't want to go longer than that with either of them. So if I had 2-3-year deals on the table and they were both willing to take them, I think I'd take Snell.
Okay.
I'm not in love with either of these guys, but they do improve your team. Like if the option is trade Taijuan Walker and bring in one of these guys, give me Blake Snell, sure.
I think it's a toss up. I don't know. I think I think I lean a little bit more towards Jordan Montgomery for a couple reasons, more than two-time Cy Young winner Blake Snell.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not sold on either of them, but I think I might go Montgomery for just what is. I feel like you could bless you. Wow, I think you could probably get Montgomery for a little less.
Yeah, he'd be less.
And so I think he'd be a good, cheaper addition in that sense.
Tyler,
but,
Snell or Montgomery, gun to your head.
Stuff-wise, I'm taking Snell.
Financially?
Well, so here's the thing.
It's not his money.
You and I talked to Jamie about that 3-year thing. You're not getting Blake Snell on a 3-year deal.
No, because there's so many other teams.
Unless this thing bleeds into like late February and he's still not signed, you're not getting Blake Snell on a 3-year deal. He's probably
but I wouldn't want to go past that.
And see, I think the Phillies would have a better chance of getting Jordan Montgomery.
Yes, I would probably. I would tend to agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, I agree in the chat. I know Christopher saying I don't want any of them.
They're better than Taijuan Walker.
They are better than Taijuan Walker. And we know Dave's been claiming the starting rotation is set, and Dave Dewar saying that in the chat as well.
Tied to all these guys.
But I wouldn't mind an addition like Jordan Montgomery, who you can get for less.
The one thing with Jordan Montgomery that I think intrigues me a lot is there was an overlay of pitching mechanics, and this is the nerd stuff, that was shown during the playoffs last year. His arm slot is the same on every single pitch. He's very deceptive. He hides the ball well. He does a really good job of keeping hitters off balance. I don't know if that translates to like sustained success, but over the last couple of years, I mean, he's posted what 3.4, 3.4, 3. So he was 3.4 in 22. He was 3.2 in 23, and 21 he was 3.8.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember when we talked about him. We've talked about him several times, but that was one of the things that jumped out at me was his postseason last year. To me, that's important. And I like it.
He was awesome last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
To the bullpen arms, the Pixies asked, you know how I feel. I'm a Stevenson and Jordan Hicks guy. Just bring in the flamethrowers and give me one of those two and let's party.
Well, I don't even know for bullpen arms because the names that are still available are not great. Josh Hader is still looking for a record-setting deal, allegedly, which is why he hasn't signed yet. He wants to get north of 5-year, $102 million exactly. So, and I was never in on Josh Hader, anyways. I actually really struggle with this one because I don't know. We know that the Phillies need bullpen arms. But when I look at the list of bullpen arms that are left.
Yeah, then just give me the flamethrower.
Yeah, just keep it simple.
Give me Hicks.
Don't overthink it.
Give me Stevenson. Mm-hmm. Trade for like another, or sign another like low-level guy like a, why am I blanking on his name? Hoffman type. Somebody like that that's got pedigree or whatever. Give him a chance and see if he can thrive here. Mm-hmm. But,
all right.
Yeah, I just want the flamethrower. Now to the hard one, Renee. The lineup. Because... me and Vince were out there talking, and I threw out my lineup, and he was like, I don't love it. And I was like, I like it. I don't love it. And then he gave me his lineup. I pointed out the holes in that lineup. And then we tried to work together to create a third lineup. And we both were like, so this lineup, you're pitch and hold by some guys. And then you have a lot of flexibility otherwise. You're pretty balanced left, right. So you want to stagger that as best you can. So what I'm saying is this lineup is kind of tough to make.
Very much so.
And it's not a bad problem to have per se. But it's tough.
Here's my thing. I would love to just try something different. Shake it up a bit. Especially in the start.
It is going to stay the same hypothetical, man.
It is going to absolutely.
I know it is, and I hate that.
God, I don't want it to stay the same. I think that we absolutely need to see. I would love to just see something different early on. See how it works. See what sticks. Throw it out there like pasta against the wall.
You all know how I feel.
I'm all about that.
About Kyle Schwarber as the leadoff.
I don't like redundancy when it clearly worked to get to the postseason, but it did not work to win the World Series. So therefore.
Change it up.
Change it up. Now, this is giving our list with the current guys on the Phillies. Of course, we are hoping. 9, we are hoping.
And then we're getting out of here because we'll be here for 2 hours if we don't, Renee.
You're saying that to me, but it's you.
Well, it's
going to be you.
Us.
So I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. All right. So this is my lineup as of now, January 2nd, 2024. I reserve the right to change 627 times by the All-Star game. But right now, this is my gut. and this is what I'm putting out here. Trey Turner is your leadoff hitter. I think look, I understand the argument about Schwarber and on base. Totally fine, justified, all that. I just want more multi-run home runs from Kyle Schwarber. That's my genesis for making this move. Plus, I want speed on the base pass. So I have Turner leading off. I have Bryce Harper hitting number 2.
Okay.
Now, I know what people are going to say. Tyler's already thinking it about my 3-hole hitter. He hits into too many double plays. Fair point. Also a very good 2-strike runner in scoring position batter. You hope he can fix the double play thing this offseason. I'm starting out Alec Bohm in the 3-hole. I'm putting Kyle Schwarber 4th. JT Realmuto is in my 5-hole. Bryson Stott in the 6th. Castellanos in the 7th. Marsh in the 8th. Johan in the 9th. The thing that pushed me over the edge with this particular lineup, the idea of Marsh, Rojas, Turner on base for Bryce Harper in the 2-hole. That's a lot of sexy, because if those two guys, if you find yourself in situations where Rojas and Turner are on base, they're both going to score on Harper singles. And then hopefully with Bohm's ability to get on base, to move runners over to play kind of a little bit of that old school game, I think it gives Kyle Schwarber more opportunities for multi-run home runs. That's me. What do you got?
I have 2 because I'm very indecisive. But
no. You're giving 1. This is it. This is your lineup, January 2nd, 2024. Put it on the table. Let's go. No 2 lineups. 1 lineup.
All right, so then
I'm not going to cheat off of your lineup.
Yeah, but I want some suspense. I don't want you reading it.
I'm not going to read it.
All right, so I know in the chat Neil was saying if Trey or Bryson aren't leadoff, then he doesn't want it. And actually, both
Bryson,
of mine,
you can make a great case to be leadoff.
My option number 1 has Bryson as leadoff.
That's
and
fine.
My option number 2 is
cool
Trey at leadoff. But
which one are you picking?
I'm going to go with my Bryson leadoff to start.
All right, I like it.
So you got Bryson Stott leading us off. Trey's coming in behind. And then Bryce is sitting at number 3.
Yeah.
There's my 1, 2, 3. Now from here, things definitely got a little bit hairy, and I wasn't sure. So I went JT number 4. I like JT, and I think he gives you just solid at bats.
You're dropping Schwarber to 5?
Yes, I am. Wow. Because I have to go left, right.
Well, that's where you get into the problem.
And that's where the issue comes. So
yeah.
Kyle Schwarber, to be honest, messes up my lineups, which is a weird thing to say, guys. I know. But the left, right threw me off. I'm just throwing the pasta at the wall. Ooh. But where else are you putting him if he's not
4?
And then
I can't go
left,
lower than 4 with Schwarber. He's one of your top 4 bats. He's your biggest run producer. That's fine. You do you. I couldn't move him to 5.
He's middle of the pack for both of mine. And my thought is maybe you have guys on base. You bring him in. He's a power hitter. Bam. But I'm also trying to spread the love a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like I want to make sure throughout the course of our lineup, there's some scary up next hitters. So
I don't have a problem with Realmuto 4.
I think he's just solid. He's consistent. He's solid.
He should have a better year this year too.
He should, which is why he'd be nice at number 4.
Hopefully.
And then Kyle, number 5. Alec Bohm after him. Marsh, Nick, Rojas. Splitting up Marsh
Your boyfriend
and Yoro.
You're putting in an 8th?
Well, I just split up.
Are you going to give him the lineup card?
Yeah.
You think he's going to be okay?
I think Nick does better towards the end of the batting order. Like I felt like when he moved
If you
down,
have Nick in the 8-hole, that's a good.
Yeah, and it's a great way to round out. It's a great way to round out the lineup versus having Marsh and Yoro back to back.
Yeah.
Splitting them up. You have Nick in there who should give us a better Nick this year.
Should. And maybe not, actually, because he played to some highs on his... Nick is just what he is. You know what I mean?
We're manifesting.
I hope you're right.
We're manifesting. But if you, MBDBDBF, there is the issue. Like, it's tough to figure out where to put Kyle if he's not leadoff. And I purposely did not want him to be leadoff, but then I was like, where the heck does he go next? Because Bryce can't... I would love... Trey, Bryce, and Bryson to me need to be at the top. So...
I mean, I think... To Tyler's point, I'm very interested in where Tyler has Bryson Stott in his lineup. I think Bryson was the team MVP this year. I think he's one of your best approach hitters. Like, I totally agree with getting him in the top 3.
Yeah.
The only thing is Schwarber 5th seems like you're probably going to end up over the course of the year costing him like 25 to 30 at-bats there. So, like, I just struggle with that. But and to hypothetical man's point, like, they probably aren't going to change the lineup unless the leadoff situation does change. Because Turner proved last year in August and September that, he could be that guy again.
He could.
All right, Tyler, what do we got?
So I have a question before I make this lineup. Are we playing under the pretense that the 9 players that you two just mentioned are the starting lineup going into 2024?
Yes, because it's too hard to predict a signing or a trade.
All
so,
right.
yes, we're just going to go with that.
Well, then I think we do this really quickly. Here's your order. It's Schwarber, Turner, Harper. Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Real Muto, Stott, Bohm, Castellanos, Marsh, Rojas.
Schwarber, Turner, Harper.
It's the same lineup as last year.
I was like,
Is that what you want or what you think they're going to do?
That's what's going to happen.
Wait, but what do you want? Because I'm going with what I want.
This is what we want, not what we think is going to happen.
I definitely
Because Kyle Schwarber probably is going to be the leadoff.
And there's no way he's moving down to 5. But I would like to see him there.
So what I want in an ideal setting.
Where do you have Bryson Stott hitting? Because that's what I want to know. Because you love him almost as much as anyone.
Honestly, probably. I think that it's probably either second or fifth. Bryson Stott's he's an ideal 2 or a 5 hitter. The problem is Bryson Stott hitting second against let's be fair with ourselves. Stott's numbers.
But then you're going lefty, Stott, Harper.
Stott's numbers against lefties were not great last year. They were
better than being benched.
Wait, who's your leadoff? Sorry, I need to backtrack.
It's going to be Schwarber, and that's why you can't bat Stott left.
This is what you want.
That's why you can't buy him second, because then you go lefty.
It has to be. So I think quite frankly,
that's what I mean. Like you're pigeonholed, but there is some flex.
There's not.
Quite frankly, the order that they run out, I think, is the best order for this team.
Okay.
I listen. I understand that Kyle Schwarber's not a traditional leadoff hitter, and hitting under 200 is not fun.
Tradition is out of the game in 2024.
So I think that unless you were batting Kyle Schwarber
4th,
no,
3rd,
5th,
I could be
5th.
I could be talking to him 3rd, and I know that goes against
worse than 1st.
I know, but that's why
if you hate him in the leadoff hole, in the leadoff spot, you're gonna hate him in the 3 hole.
That's why I just want him in the 4 hole.
I mean, the only other option is if Trey is a leadoff and you have, actually kind of like you had, Trey and then Bryce, and then maybe it's,
I think
I would put,
you guys
I would
say
put
mine's the best.
No,
it's fine. Just
see,
say
I don't want Alec Bohm that high though.
At that point, Bryce
I don't want Alec Bohm in the 3 spot.
He's a good hitter.
I would rather have.
You can't have Turner lead off and Schwarber hit 4.
Why?
Who's hitting 2? Stott?
It have to
then
be,
you're going lefty.
Wait,
again.
now I have to look at my lineup
Trey,
again.
Bryce. Then
I
if
have
you
Harper
put,
batting 2.
And then if you put someone.
Bohm 3.
See, can we.
Staggered.
Would you put JT or Nick at 3 instead of Bohm?
No, Nick is nowhere near the top 5.
Well, none of them are 3.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want any of them at 3, which is why. This is why my leadoff was a lefty.
If you move Schwarber, it has to be
you
tough.
have to lead off with a lefty because you want to. Trey is a solid number 2. Your lefty to lead off is Bryson, Bryce, or Kyle.
Bryce Harper's probably the team's best leadoff hitter, if we want to be serious.
Oh, now people want to agree with me. I've been saying that for 5 years, but he's got to hit 3rd.
Well, I mean, tradition. It's
like
all tradition versus new age.
I like him at number 3. I think it's good because Trey and Bryson should get on base. Bryce steps up. Bam.
It looks like we're going to have to continue this discussion into tomorrow. Thanks, Pixie.
You have to lead off. You have to lead off with a lefty to make this work, in my opinion. You cannot lead off with Trey.
Turner I want speed at the top of my order.
He can be number 2. That's still the top, just not the tippy top.
I want Kyle Schwarber in the 4 hole.
Kyle has things that make you go, All right, well.
We didn't even talk about Chris Sale today. We got a lot to get into tomorrow.
Well, our show sheet's basically done for tomorrow because we didn't talk about a lot. We didn't talk about Jock Peterson. So listen, tomorrow we have a lot more things.
But by the way, good news for the Phillies with Chris Sale.
So we have exciting things to get into tomorrow. We'll talk about Jock Peterson. Not much to say there. We've got to get into Chris Sale. We've got to get into some other updates around the league in terms of potential off-season, hot stove moves.
Or we could just talk about the lineup for an hour.
Or we can talk about the line for an hour. Yeah,
because I think this conversation could have gone on for another 20 minutes.
Thank you, Santiago, by the way. So also keep in mind that
Neil.
as we
Neil Dever gets it. He said, my lineup's perfect, and I'm perfect.
It's not
That's what
perfect.
He said your lineup is perfect. Don't let them change your mind.
That's
you, Neil.
His opinion. You're entitled to your opinion,
well,
Neil. Jamie's lineup is not perfect. I see some flaws.
Oh, Dave Dewar. Another vote for Jamie's lineup. Making a lot of sense, guys.
I don't know. No.
I think it's nasty, to be honest with you.
at number 3, though. I'd rather have
8, 9, and 1.
Rather have
you have like
Bryson,
3 of the
Trey,
fastest
Bryce.
guys in the league. Like, that's nasty.
Stott, Turner,
Stott in the
Harper.
6 hole is a good situation.
So is...
He's got a little bit of protection with Castellanos, trailing real Muto. Tyler's going to think about this, and I'm going to...
We're going to get back to this.
I'm going to inception him with it. Osmosis.
Bryce at 3, Stott 2, Trey 1. Lots to think about. So we'll talk about that more.
I do love that
Something
conversation.
exciting, though, also, as we are just 86 days away from opening day, we're also getting even closer to Clearwater.
Oh.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
So you guys have an opportunity to participate and be there. We've got our PHLY road trip happening from March 13th to March 18th. For those that are tuning in on podcast platforms, we'll be actively sharing it over and over and over again, including the link and the information for where you can join. If you want to hang with us.
Justin Harris gets it. Yeah.
Okay, everybody with the Jamie love. You're too excited.
We'll talk about this at spring training with a nice beer at the Tiki Hut in left field.
If I'm going to be in Clearwater, I'm going to have a nice drink with like an umbrella.
Have you done, what is it, Bright House Field now? Have you done Bright House Field before?
No, I need like a Bahama Mama or like a Mai Tai or like a Caribbean punch or something, like
awesome.
a rum punch. But yeah, listen, you had the chance. I know people were talking about being able to hang with us in person. This is your opportunity to do it. Just don't come and be weird, guys. Be cool. Let's be fun. Doesn't
MBD or Mopar? Somebody lives down in Florida.
Somebody lives in Florida. I believe it's.
I think it's
Mopar.
Mopar.
Yeah,
I do believe
I'm pretty
so.
sure
Mopar,
we've
we better
got some
see you,
folks
man.
down. Yeah, we
Oh
are.
no,
going.
maybe it is MBD too.
It might be both of them.
I'm pretty sure you have a couple actually.
Snowbirds. Yeah.
Snowbirds.
Yeah.
So that being said, plenty more to get into here. Of course, we're also going to give our power rankings as well as some predictions, because it's never too early to give early predictions that nobody asked for, because we just want to share them and see how they evolve and see who's right, because we like to be right.
I love you, Santiago.
There you go. Jamie loves you. So we'll have the flip-flops.
I will definitely be wearing
flip-flops. We'll be bringing the love. We'll be
week.
bringing the drinks, and we'll be bringing
Grouper
some more fun
sandwiches.
in Clearwater. So definitely make sure you guys are checking that out so you can participate in our PHLY spring training trip. As always, thanks so much for tuning in. And as always, we went overtime, but not that much overtime, the usual. Thanks so much for tuning in. Subscribe, like, comment, join the conversation in the Discord so we can keep this fun going. Thank you, Pixie007, for the awesome, thought-provoking comment. And for Tyler, Jamie, myself, Renee, it's been a fun start to 2024. So happy to spend the new year with you guys. And we'll see you more for our first episode on a Wednesday in 2024 tomorrow. Tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. See you there.
We all silly like the mayor.